What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Monday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. We're here every morning, wherever you get your audio podcasts and wherever you get your video. Well, YouTube, I guess, is where you get the video for this podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM. You get the $10 offer to win $150 on any event. Use that promo code JUICE150 at BetMGM. When you sign up for a new account, promo code JUICE150 at BetMGM or BetMGM.com. All right, so let me run through Sunday because it was full. It was a full day, and it was down a little. Not a lot, just a little. Okay, so on the pod, we went 2-2 for the podcast play. So if you just played the podcast plays, it was 2-2, so down the juice. Not great, but down the juice, down a little. We added a lot throughout the day. So the prop bets wound up going 4-2, including 2-0 on Sunday Night Football. But the Braves lost. We rode that because I think the Braves might lose the whole World Series now. If they weren't going to win it last night, I thought they might lose the whole darn thing now. So, not good for Atlanta. I think the over in Game 6 probably a pretty good bet. It's probably the only bet I'll make on Game 6 is probably going to be the over because I think offenses are going to come to life in Houston. But going back to the American League, going back to the DH, it's just like big 3-1, right? 3-1. Never seen Atlanta blow a 3-1 lead before. I mean, it's just kind of, 28-3 all over again, right? Here we go with the Falcons and everything else with Atlanta, blowing leads. Yikes. So, yeah, not good for. So we're 0-1 on baseball. And then the Wong teaser missed. So here's the funny thing. I'm 6-2 on the Wong teaser this season in the NFL. Do you know the team that has cost me both Wong teasers that we've lost this year? The Lions. And I was going to put the Patriots in there instead of putting on the Lions. And I just decided that, well, I didn't want to double up and be doubly wrong. I already had the Patriots for a full unit. And I was like, man, if I'm wrong about the Patriots, I'm going to lose 2 units. And I don't like doing that because it's kind of a double bet. So I was annoyed. Lions get throttled. That was the worst bet of the day. Lions +9. Panthers came through. They covered their leg, but not the other leg. So that was a 2-3 mark on full units, 4-2 mark on prop bets, 0-1 in Major League Baseball. All right. So coming up here tonight, we have a very tricky Monday Night Football game with Kansas City hosting the New York Giants, who have a ton of questions on their offense for injuries, including Galladay and Toney, who may play. They're questionable. But, I guess Galladay's out, right? Yeah, sorry. Galladay's out. Galladay is out. Saquon Barkley is out. But Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard might play. So we got 2 wideouts that might play. So Kansas City, when you look at the Chiefs right now, I went back and did some numbers. It's stark to look at this for Kansas City, all right? So here we are with the Chiefs. KC has not covered as a home favorite for the last 6 games in the regular season. The total is 3-3 to the over in those 6 games. The last time there was a cover, so last time they covered a 6-game losing streak to the number for KC at home in the regular season. The last 3 times they've been double-digit favorites at home. They have not covered the spread. The last time KC covered a double-digit spread at home was back on the 1st of November, 2020, when they covered a 19.5-point line. So does that mean now, literally, a year to the day, they come in and they cover? Very possible. But I don't trust the Giants offensively. I don't trust them defensively. And I sure as hell don't trust that KC Chief defense. All right? I don't know what to make of this, but the Chiefs, off of a loss, are normally pretty good against the number. They normally play really well after they lose. But Patrick Mahomes has had some really bad luck, some bad turnover luck here. When you look at some of these numbers offensively for Kansas City, I mean, KC is only scoring 26.9 points per game. That is like, what? It's a crazy number, but the Giants are giving up 25.7 points per game. Chiefs are still averaging 6.2 yards per play. That's 5th best in the NFL. 3.4 touchdowns per game. That's 5th best in the NFL. And the Giants are giving up 3 touchdowns on average per game. That's 19th best in the NFL. You can throw on these guys. 6.9 yards per pass play. They do not get after the quarterback. They don't pressure the quarterback really at all. Pass rush is just not good. I mean, it's just not good. Although the Chiefs right now are the worst in terms of sacking the quarterback. I mean, they are awful. They are 32nd in sack percentage right now, 16th for the Giants. They have a little bit better of a pass rush, but not great. And KC's given up 4.5 sacks per 4.5% on sacks per snap, which is 10th best in the NFL, which is middle of the pack, not great. Okay, so here is Mahomes having an opportunity to do some big things. Here is Mahomes having an opportunity in prime time. I don't like the 10. I could see this game being a shootout. I could see this game being a blowout. In fact, I lean towards the blowout, but I just don't know. What I do feel comfortable with, the only thing I feel comfortable with, is the team total for Kansas City. All right? I know this is a little bit rich, and it's funny because Dan Harris and I were talking about this during the live stream, and he brought up that he had a guest who thinks that there's some real value on team totals in the NFL, and I kind of poo-pooed it, and I was like, I don't really agree that there's great inefficiencies in the market with team totals. Personally, I think it's, in college, I think that's a much wiser move. But, here in the NFL, here's my concern about Kansas City. I don't know what to do about the offense for the Giants. So the Giants offense with Danny Dimes, 19.9 points per game, 25th best, 5.5 yards per play, 23rd best. But if they don't have Tony and they don't have Shepard, they're going to be in trouble, right? So the play might be the under because the Giants aren't going to score with Kansas City. But look at that Giants defense. So far this year, they have given up 27, 30, 17, 27, 44, 38, and 3. Only 3 points in the last game. Kansas City, on the other hand, their offense, because they turn the ball over so much, they move the football, and they have not been capitalizing on trips to the red zone. They scored 3 points in their last game, but then 31 against Washington, 20 against the Bills, 42 against the Eagles, 24 against the Chargers, 35 against the Ravens, and 33 against the Browns. Their team total was 31.5, okay? 31.5 at minus 105. I need 5 touchdowns and extra points. But I need 5 touchdowns out of Kansas City here to get this team total. I'm not playing with the total. I'm not playing with the teaser. I'm doing 1 unit against 1 unit, and that's it. I'm doing the Chiefs offense against that Giants defense, and that's it. And I think the Chiefs can move the football, and I think the Chiefs can score 35 points here in prime time at home against the Giants. My question is, or my concern would be, like, it could be 35-28. like that's possible. And, if you go, Matt, why don't you just bet, the over then? I think the over's in play, but if you don't have Shepard and you don't have Tony, and then Danny Dimes is throwing interceptions and he doesn't have Saquon Barkley, I mean, did they just rise up and play really well last week and then they don't come back and play all that well? I just want to worry about one thing, and I want to worry about Patrick Mahomes trying to remind everybody that KC's offense is still really, really good, and they can move the football and score. I'm going 1 unit, over 31.5 points, Kansas City, team total, Monday Night Football, and that's it. That's all I'm playing. 1 unit on Kansas City to just score and not worry about props, not worry about anything else. Just 1 unit, score 32 points here against the Giants. 1 unit, team total, Kansas City, 31.5 points over. We go for the team total for 1 unit. All right, 1 NBA play and 1 NHL play. I got to start to kind of get into this because football, I mean, we're already going into week 9, and, like, football's going to be here for a little while, but, like, there's days where we're going to just be no baseball, and, like, college basketball is starting, but, like, we're going to have to get rolling here. We're going to have to jump in here. So, let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks hosting the Washington Wizards. Atlanta has only covered 2 times this year. At home against Dallas, they were 2.5-point favorites. They won by 26. And home against Detroit, 11.5-point favorites. They won by 18. But Detroit and Dallas stink. The road games at Cleveland, at New Orleans, at Washington, at Philadelphia for the Atlanta Hawks, I think they've read their clippings a little bit too much. They've lost 3 straight games against the spread. They've lost 2 games straight overall. New Orleans, -5. They won by 3. Washington, they were a 4-point favorite. They won by 11. Against Philly in their last game, they were 3.5-point dogs. They lost by 28 points. I don't like what's going on right now for the Atlanta Hawks. It's concerning. Washington's averaging almost 113 points per game. They're shooting 44%, and defensively, they've been pretty good, allowing under 109 points. Bradley Beal's averaging over 24 points per game. And you start looking at some of these metrics and some of these, Washington's 5-1 against the spread. They've covered the last 3 games, with all of which they've won. They beat Boston as 4-point dogs, won by 9. Beat these same Hawks back on the 28th of October, a couple of days ago, as 4-point dogs. They won by 11. And then back to Boston at home where they were laying 2 and they won by 3. This Washington Wizards team right now is legit, and I think the only reason why I can think of the Atlanta is a plus 5.5 home favorite here, or minus 5.5 home favorite here, is because of what they did in their 2 previous home games. But this feels too heavy for me early in the year. I think Atlanta's got something pretty wrong with them right now, and these 2 teams just played. Wizards have played well on the road, and they've played well away from home as well on the road. You mean, look at just these numbers. So far, they are 2-1 on the road against the spread, and they've won 2 out of the 3 games they've been on the road. And I don't think they're going to have I think this is a close game that comes down to the wire. Maybe Atlanta wins by 3, but I think there's something up with the Hawks right now. I'm not going to play the props here in this game. I'm going to wait. John Collins did not play well in the last game against Philadelphia. And when you lose by 11 to these Washington Wizards, and then you lose by 28 to Philadelphia, you come back home and you say, okay, maybe change of scenery, Atlanta goes crazy, Trae Young goes off. I just feel like a lot of these teams that used to get to the foul line a lot, like Trae Young and like we've seen with the Nets, it's been tough for them to kind of adjust to the new referees and the new calls and how things are going. I'm going to take the points here. I'm going to take 5.5 for the Washington Wizards and to keep this 5-1 against a spread streak rolling. And maybe they win the game outright. I think right now, early in the year, there's something up with the Atlanta Hawks, and they don't look right now early in the season. This is a team that's 3-3 straight up, 2-4 against the spread, and they haven't covered in the last 3 games. I think that extends to 4 here. I'm going to take Washington, the hotter basketball team, for a half a unit plus 5.5 here for the Washington Wizards. And then 1 NHL play. And if you want to fade this, go right ahead, because I am god-awful in the NHL. I don't think I've gotten a pick right yet in the NHL here for the Daily Juice, okay? So it's been bad. I'm going to fade a team that I liked going into the season. And the team I liked going into the season was the Seattle Kraken. I thought they were going to be not your typical team, not your typical expansion team, kind of do what the Vegas Golden Knights did, contend for a playoff berth. But oh my goodness, this has been a rocky, and I mean rocky start for the Seattle Kraken. They have played 9 games. They are 3-5-1. They lost 3-1 last night. They're on a back-to-back here against the Edmonton Oilers, who are 6-1 this season. Edmonton's 3-1 at home, 3-0 on the road here. They won their last game, and I got even money on the puck line here. I mean, Philip Grubauer has not been good, and it's been wild to watch on the road. The Kraken are bad on the road. And, maybe things change when they go back home and they'll get better as they go. But right now on the road, they are, they're 3-2-1. They're bad at home. They're 0-3 at home. They're 1-3-1. That's right. They're 1-3-1 on the road, 2-2 at home. I was reading Vancouver's numbers. 2-2 at home, 1-3-1 on the road. And they just got beat on the puck line last night and didn't look great against the Rangers. They were at home, I guess, against the Rangers, and they lost. Now they're on the road to Edmonton here where the Oilers are 3-1 at home. And I don't like what I've seen out of this. They aren't scoring. Their defense is being okay, but I don't know. This is Edmonton's been very, very good. You got one team that's rested and hot against a team on a back-to-back who's not playing very well. They're trying to figure themselves out right now. I got even money here on Edmonton on the puck line. I'm going to lay the puck line here. Oilers puck line, even money for a half a unit here, okay? So we got 2 units going here today. It's my first day of my new job. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. I don't know how busy I'm going to be. This is why I'm not going to do props today, because I could be like super busy or not busy at all. You know how like new jobs day one type stuff is? So I don't know. So that's why I'm just going to tell you we're going team total for 1 unit over 31.5 for the KC Chiefs up against the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Wizards plus 5.5 on the road at the Atlanta Hawks for a half a unit. Oilers on the puck line at home, even money against the Kraken for a half a unit. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.